cloud. All right. So let's get going. My name's Chris Grant. I am filling in for Shawn Mayo tonight. Welcome everybody from everywhere. And I'm here with Abby Hunt, and we're going to talk dollar store arbitrage. So,
thank you for inviting me today.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Abby. So, how would you like to get started? You want to chat a little bit about your story? And
I am going to give a really fast of my story. I started on eBay in 1998. So I was kind of one of the first ones on. I was married at the time. A couple years later, had a son. Before I had him, though, my husband said, "Look, if you can, when my son was going to be born, if you can pay for your health insurance through the eBay thing, you could quit your job." So I did, and I did. And then a couple years later, when my son was 3, my husband passed away. But eBay, it was the height of eBay at the time. So I still paid my bills, did what I had to do. And then almost 10 years later, it took until eBay really tanked. And then I was ready to go into the real world again. And a friend of mine said, "Oh, you have to come up to Connecticut." And I live in New Jersey. "Chris Green is speaking." And I'm like, "Well, who's Chris Green?" And he took us shopping for the afternoon. Then we ate while he explains a little more of the meat of the whole thing. I shopped when he was, given his whole thing. And we went to a Target, a TJ Maxx, and I think a Goodwill or something at the time. And then I brought the stuff home because I had to come home that night. So Wednesday, I listed everything, shipped it, and that Friday I had my first sale on Amazon. I was I'm not going back to the real world. This is too much fun. Because you figured with eBay, stuff was sitting on my shelves. I had to run to the post office. And this way with Amazon, it was gone. Sold, check in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
So then what happened was, 5 years ago, I started Amazon and really just dumped the whole eBay mentality completely. But a year ago, I said, wait a minute, I can start putting all my old, returns from Amazon on eBay, anything that suddenly Amazon decided, hey, we're just going to block you on that. You can't, you're not approved to sell that anymore. Goes on eBay, and eBay is sure, we'll take it. They don't care. So I'm running to the post office again, but it's completely working.
That's great. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with eBay. I want to love eBay, but I've been spoiled by Amazon, so I know that I'm missing out on money there, and I tend to give my returns to my son and let him mess with them.
Yeah, my son at 15 isn't as interested. Well, some of them, because it's nerd stuff. He's a nerd like I am. So it's, do I let him put it in his room to get eaten up by his closet, or, do I sell it? But he's funny because he runs hot and cold. Yes, I want to work for you because obviously there must be a video game coming out or something. But then other times he's yeah, I can't be bothered. But I tell you, when he goes into when he starts to look at real jobs, he's going to realize how good he had it working for mom.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would imagine, maybe you crack the whip, but I would imagine you're going to go a lot easier on him than a boss in the real world.
Not so much. He can't be, he knows he can't have his phone. He can't be unless he's taking pictures, unless he's using his phone for something I need. He's pretty good about it. When he knows, because he has to fill out a timesheet, as soon as he does it, he's on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but then I have another teenager who works for me just part-time, and then I have a girl who works for me 15 hours a week, and she's golden. She does all the processing, all that, major stuff. Today, she even, we had to go to storage, and we were running around doing stuff, and then we're okay, we need to just grab a quick lunch and come back, because it was just a weird, hectic day where things happen you weren't expecting, and you had to quick put out this fire and run over here, and, so.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, you talking about having someone who's awesome, and maybe you and Shawn have talked about this, I don't know, but how did you find that person? Because I have hired people, I've hired friends, I've hired neighbors, and I've hired people, off Craigslist, and it's not more than 48 to 72 hours, and I'm kicking them out of my house and and telling them to go find a job somewhere else. So,
well, she's our dog sitter, and she's known my husband's family. I got remarried, by the way, like 5 years ago.
Okay.
But she's known my husband's family since she was like born. So she's like 27 now. So he's known her, her whole life. But what's amazing is now everyone who I bring in, I like compare to her, and she's super organized. Like I can leave and be like, all right, I'll be back in 2 hours doing whatever I have to do. She'll finish what she has to do, organize everything, file anything that she can, and throw a load of laundry in. Like she can't not be busy, but not like to a weird degree. So it's super organized. Like she'll leave me notes. There's sticky notes on everything. Like I couldn't process this. It was waiting for measurements, very on the ball. But I have hired people where I said, look, is it like even Facebook, hey, is anybody looking just for some part-time work? And I make it like really part-time, like I need you for a week. And then if it turns out they're really great, like they're really like the piece that's missing, then I say, hey, look, are you looking for something a little more? Like, don't say you want someone 30 hours a week forever. Right. Say, look, I'm looking for, even my girlfriend's daughter. I said, look, for like a week, I need you to bag stuff for me. She's like, okay, that sounds crazy, but I'm in, and that's the attitude I want. I don't want them to be like, what do you mean bag? Like, is this like work? You're like, no, never mind. Forget it.
Yeah. Wow. I would like to drive up there and steal her from you, because if she will throw in a load of laundry while prepping and packing, she sounds like a winner.
Yeah.
So.
Now just, my son, my girlfriend's daughter, and this girl, they're all on payroll. Like they actually get W-2s, like totally above board. If someone wants to do 1099s, that's fine. I prefer to just have a payroll place, just do it. That way they get paid. I don't have to worry about it. I actually text in my hours every other week, and it works out great for me.
Oh, that's great. That's a really good idea. Got to be nice for them too, to get a W-2 rather than a 1099. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I do my own taxes, and those are horrible, but a lot of people don't know how to do those. So that's a great idea.
Actually, the two teenagers, my son and the other girl, I actually taught them how to do their taxes this year, because I want them to have like marketable skills. Like that's something that, and my girlfriends are like, could you teach me how to do mine?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the different places that I shop from. Mm-hmm. Okay. So like I said, I was doing eBay. I did Amazon, retail arbitrage, started like dipping my toe a little bit into online arbitrage, but it was like, I got a couple weird things happen where I would try to buy something from a store that I bought from the store. Like I did it from Kmart, which don't ever try to buy off Kmart's website, because it's horrible. Like you get the wrong products, the prices are like just a disaster. Well, I didn't know that at the time. I had to make that mistake to learn that mistake, because no one's going to be like, oh, by the way, I know you didn't ask, but don't shop on Kmart's website. But I didn't know. But what I do is I love Kmart clearance. So I hit them in like January and bought a ton of their Christmas dish towels and kitchen kind of things. And they sold great all the way through March. So I didn't even have to hold them till the following Christmas. So that first big clearance thing that I did at Kmart made me say, oh, let me go check more clearance sections, especially right after holidays, and see if something is that it will still sell after the holiday. Like even now, we just bought a bunch of Easter stuff because it was Hello Kitty. Like people who are Hello Kitty freaks, they could care less if the Hello Kitty has Easter bunny ears or a lamb hat or whatever. They want it anyway. So I would do regular retail arbitrage, a lot of clearance type stuff. And then I slowly like dipped my feet into wholesale. And I said, okay, well, if I'm doing this well with like dish towels, let me see. And I use that example a lot, but it's like a safe thing because not everybody's like making their fortune on dish towels. But certainly do this with all different categories. But I found a place that is in Philadelphia that sells dish towels wholesale, and I got their catalog and I bought a small order, and then I liked them, and then I bought other things from them. And you start to see what sells. So like if the chili pepper ones sell, buy more chili pepper, buy more Spanish themed dish towels. And then what happened was I started teaching other people how to sell on Amazon. And a lot of people were like, okay, I have like no money, and I was like, okay, well, I started looking at other options for them, for me to see what they could do. Plus, because I had that eBay background, I was still let me check out thrift stores and garage sales and stuff. My favorite is rummage sales. Like a church has a sale, and everybody donates stuff to the church. So like I went last week and got like all these, like sealed. This stuff is all sealed at a rummage sale for like $1 a piece.
Oh, wow.
Because people donate stuff to the church and then they just price it because all of this stuff is going to either like a scholarship fund or their, day camp or whatever it is. So I like those, plus they're usually indoors. But also with that, like cheapy sourcing was I went to some of the dollar stores around here. Now, I don't know why, but there seems to be a lot of like mom and pop family owned dollar stores in my area. I have like 7 in like within 20 minutes.
Interesting.
But then I also have Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar. And I find that these other like mom and pop dollar stores have great stuff. The one that I keep going to, it's by like a Party City by us. That just happens to be where it is. They're getting all of Hallmark's stuff as the Hallmark stores start going out of business. They're getting like centerpieces and all these like baby shower things and stuff for like, and they're in a dollar store. So they must have bought, like this one particular one must have bought some like pallet of all this stuff, because like every week or two she's got new stuff out, but it's all Hallmark brand. Like it's not cards, it's like, party supplies and stuff. But what's nice is any dollar store, whether it's Dollar Tree or a mom and pop one, has all these different departments, and you can go into each different section and scan or, take pictures of things and say, oh, well, they have these party supplies. Then go home, get on Amazon. And the reason I say go home is because it's easier to just look on the computer like, okay, they had penguin party supplies. So you just type it in that way. The problem at Dollar Tree is if you scan their barcodes, it's their Greenbrier barcode. And sometimes it doesn't really, like if somebody made a bundle out of party supplies, it's not going to come up, or if they put 2 things together. So if you go home and say, okay, well, they had penguin party supplies, you look it up, it doesn't really do anything. They had graduation party supplies. Then you see things that are already selling, and then you go to the dollar store and you buy it. The dollar store isn't the same as other stores. If it's like a Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, maybe Family Dollar, but you want to kind of go in with a list of what you're looking for. If you just go in and scan, you're not going to get as many hits as you would if you were in the clearance section of a retail store. I know that was a lot of information in a really short time.
That's okay. That's actually one of the reasons that especially when I was newer, I absolutely quit sourcing at Dollar Tree, because I'd go in there, expect to be able to scan like I do at, we have Meijer here, which everybody seems jealous of. And, and so I'd have a great day at a Meijer, and then I'd go to a Dollar Tree and I'd come up empty handed. So yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So the what originally happened was I was teaching, and people needed like a cheaper place, so we'd go to these dollar stores around here, which were better suited. Like even my book, it's more towards like these mom and pop ones where you're going to find stuff. The first thing I tell people to look for is look for something that doesn't look like it belongs in a dollar store. If you see like a garden flag, like a normal size garden flag, it doesn't really belong in a dollar store. Those go for $12, $15, even in discount stores. So that's the type of thing you're looking for when you're in that type of dollar store. You want to find the thing that, like which one of these doesn't belong kind of thing. Mm-hmm. If it's in a really nice package, like baby products, if it's in a really nice package, like gift quality, it doesn't belong in a dollar store. So if it's there, check it. Those, there's a Baby King brand, which I would never recommend, but they have like a higher end brand, which I didn't know. And sometimes those make it into the dollar stores if the higher end retail stores like went to a new packaging. So then the better quality stuff ends up in the dollar store because they don't want to compete with the new packaging. Which is weird, but yeah. So, and that's what happens in a lot of clearance sections in stores. Sometimes this is just a matter of the new Disney packaging is coming out. They tweaked it to say, all right, it's Beauty and the Beast based on the movie, as opposed to the book or whatever. So, I think Shawn thinks that everything at the dollar store is like cheap cast-offs, but it's definitely, there's definitely stuff there that is, kind of worth it. I mean, Dollar Tree, wait, I have a number here. In 2014, Dollar Tree had a net sales of $8 billion. So like there's something to be said for the, what they have. Not everything is crap there.
Oh, absolutely. And let's see, who did they gobble up over the past year? Dollar Tree gobbled up
Family Dollar.
Family Dollar, and didn't they buy Dollar General?
I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, they're obviously doing something right.
Mm-hmm. And something else to look for, Marianne, I can't remember what the other Baby King thing is. When I remember it, I'll tell you. But the other thing with the dollar stores is often they'll get like older merchandise. So I was telling the story the other day. I was in a dollar store and they had Pokemon tablecloths, but it was like at the height of the whole Pokemon Go thing. So the guy ended up having 96 of these plastic Pokemon tablecloths for $1 a piece. So of course I bought them all, and they were selling for $15 each. So you figure I paid less than $100 and had 96 of them. So that's $1,500 minus, the fees and all, but still, and there's no packaging. It's a label and gone. There's no bagging. There's no bubble wrapping. There's nothing.
That's awesome. And for everybody who's here, Pokemon Go may have come and gone in the craze, but I found a Pokédex toy the other day that's selling for an insane amount of money. So there are still those niches that are fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And I found that there's two like kind of schools of thought with like the niches. Like in the dollar store, they have a lot of the same categories that you're going to find in a regular retail store, whether it's baby or pet supplies or beauty or whatever. And if you're not approved in beauty, maybe you're approved in pet. So just focus on that. Don't stand in the beauty section saying, I wish I could sell this. So, go over to the pet supplies or go to toys or books. And I don't mean like regular books. I mean like they have a crazy, like weird section. If you want to scan books, knock yourself out. But sometimes they have like little sets of books, and those can sometimes do well. They have like little cookbooks and stuff that are geared for kids. You can scan them, but they're unlikely to come up. If you do it with Amazon, it used to be called Amazon Flow. Now it's just if you use the Amazon app on the cover, it may come up in the set that it's in. And then just make that set. You don't need a barcode. You don't have to do anything. You just have to make the set the same way it is already on Amazon. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. So now when you are sourcing Dollar Tree, and we talked about you going in with a list rather than just scanning everything,
Mm-hmm.
Are you typically finding the bundles are the way to go? Or is it more often it's a one-off item?
In Dollar Tree, I find that it's more the bundles. If it's these other like mom and pop kind of stores, I find way more one-offs. I'll find pet supplies that are like American Kennel Club, but they must have been like a design that didn't sell or something, because they'll have like 8 of some weird dinosaur. I may have to make a listing for that type of thing, but once it's on there, there's other ones that are similar. So if I look up American Kennel Club pet toy, it'll come up and you'll say, oh my gosh, these are selling for $20 a piece. It's worth making a listing for, if you have multiples of them.
Oh yeah.
What did she ask? When you say Dollar Tree, do you mean Dollar Tree, or does that also mean the other? Well, the Dollar Tree, Family General, Dollar General, the ideas are all the same, where they buy from like a central place, and they're going to have similar. So every Family General has similar products in their stores. I mean, that sounds funny, but like in Dollar Tree, everything's going to be $1. You don't have to think about it. In Dollar General or Family Dollar, you could walk in and something's $20. And I don't think that's, certainly if you can make money on it, buy it. But if you're working with a really limited budget, you want to be looking at things that okay, it's $1. You don't even have to think about it. Obviously, if you're making a bundle and the bundle is 10 pieces, then your cost is $10. But in Family General and Dollar General, I find you can scan a little bit more. I did really, really well one year. They had these Barbie heads. They were like you do the doll's hair and everything, like you do her makeup and hair.
I've sold a few of those. But
they were an old product when they made it to the Dollar General, and they sold great. Like I was making $10, $15 on each one, and that's great. Like knock yourself out, and then go to every single other Dollar General and buy them all. But you definitely want to scan that type of thing. That's not the type of thing you're going to be like, oh, I think that Barbie head would sell. You'd have to scan it and see that they are selling and doing well.
Now, and so I guess another thing I'm curious about is, since you've dipped your toe into wholesale a little bit, when you make a bundle from a dollar store, do you then try to go and find a wholesale source for that so you can continue?
I do.
It? Okay.
And I actually, I went to, you can go ahead. I went to, I told you this was going to happen, just for the record. I went to Las Vegas to the ASD conference.
Oh, I missed you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so crushed how many people I missed. See, I told you, Laura said. I love you. Goodbye. That's a kiss. Go. You're going too fast. I can't catch you. Anyway, I went to ASD in Las Vegas with the intent to buy dollar store items from the wholesalers. And whether it's the mom and pop or Dollar Tree, which I had no idea, like Greenbrier wasn't there, but Baby King was there, and Basic, which is the all the stationery, like all the office supplies, school supplies, all the type of stuff. They're there. They're all about selling to individuals. They could care less that they're in Dollar Tree. And I was amazed. I was like, wait, you don't care that I sell online? They're like, no, we'll drop ship for you. It's like, wait, what?
Really?
Yeah. There's a woman's card if you want it. Anyway, wow. So just for an example, like these little like cases and stuff are usually right at the front in a dollar store. They're like those little, now individually, they're totally not worth selling. Like $1, nobody's going to want them. But if you put like 6 together, like 6 as a set together, they could be party favors for teenagers. They could be, some of those like have little mirrors, the little compacts, or they're little pill cases or whatever they are. If you make them a multiple set, not necessarily a bundle, but like 6 of the same thing, or 6, like I make the, toothbrushes or something. If you do 6 together, it's a multi-pack. It's not really a bundle, and it's not as difficult to get that on Amazon. Excuse me. So I have the hiccups now. It's from my horse. But I went to the trade show and bought from wholesalers that sell to the different dollar stores. I knew what I wanted. I knew what I already had that was selling that I can't get anymore because my dollar store is out of them. You know, like I used to sell washcloths, and they had this really pretty set with a little ribbon around it. And it was one of those things, like, doesn't look like it belongs in a dollar store. It's like 12 washcloths with a little ribbon around it for $1. Like, and they were, you know, they were good enough quality. They're perfect for like a kid going off to school, or just like having in a guest bathroom. Certainly looks pretty. And I couldn't get them anymore. So I went to the linens places, you know, the linens booths at the trade show. And so many people are afraid to like take that leap into wholesale. But I mean, I have like 30 catalogs, not all of them here, but these people want to sell to you. There were like 2,000 vendors there. They want people. Some of them, for sure, they only want to talk to like a big box or a brick and mortar store. But plenty of them were like, oh, you sell online? No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a serious myth that needs to be busted in the Amazon community. And I don't know, you know, maybe it's people selling wholesale. I don't know, but you know, they are more than willing to talk to us. I've never had anybody just straight up turn me down because I say I sell online.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah, and sometimes they're really nice about it. Other times, they were like, oh, we have an exclusive. I had more problems with Toy Fair, I have to admit. Like when I went to Toy Fair, because I'm right by New York, I'm like a half an hour into the city. And I had more that were like, no, we have an exclusive with someone, or no, we don't sell to online sellers. And I was like, okay, like you're wasting my time if you're going to let me give my whole spiel and then, you know, I'm going to move on.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I get it. Wholesale's like totally not the thing for some people, but a lot of these sellers, a lot of the wholesalers, you know, the minimum order could be like $100. You know, they may say, well, $700 for free shipping. Well, if the shipping's only $40, I'll spend 100, you know, or I'll spend 200. And right. Sometimes, you know, maybe, you know, there's another set, you know, maybe Chris lives in New Jersey and we can say, hey, look, let's both order from this wholesaler and split the shipping. it's, a half an hour drive to his house. Okay, I'll have everything shipped to my house. I'll bring you your boxes. And that's just pairing up with someone like that. That's such a game changer, to have somebody, and you don't have to know them really well. You just have to trust that they're going to pay for their part of the shipping. And it's not as hard as you think. I mean, I'm in like probably 5 Facebook groups that I go to religiously. And there's plenty of people in there that I talk to regularly. I don't know if Deb is on the thing, but I would in a minute, I'd be like, hey, Deb, I want to place this order. Are you at all interested in, beanbag toys or, whatever it is? And she certainly would be like, okay, well, I would do this and I could do this. And and we've only ever talked over the, over the computer. I've never met her, So someone asked if I had to get ungated for Hallmark. I didn't know it was a gated category. They didn't tell me I couldn't sell it, and I did. But there were party supplies, so that might be that might be why.
Yeah, I've never had a Hallmark issue. I haven't sold a lot of Hallmark. It's just not something I care for to go source. But I don't. Maybe they're trying to think. I've sold a lot of their ornaments around Christmas time. I've never had an issue.
Oh yeah, I sell a ton of their ornaments.
Yeah.
Well, the girl who works for me, just because she's not angelic enough, worked at a Hallmark store part-time one year. So she called me and she said, I'm going to do Facebook Live. Tell me what you want to buy. And she just went over the entire 75% off plus her discount. And I was like, okay, I want entire shelf 2, nothing on 3 except for the dog at the end, all of shelf 4. And she has a Jeep. It was loaded with Hallmark bags.
Oh, wow.
And it was Christmas in January because everything was, so discounted. Marcia was talking about eBay. I do use Joe Lister to cross list, but I also do them on my own because what I'll do is try to have something that's a good example. This is a terrible example, but just for example, say that I'm selling this mug and teaspoons separately on Amazon. What I would do on eBay is I would make a listing for the mug and the spoon. Say they were both dog themed or something. I'd make a list, not through Joe Lister. I would just make my own listing on eBay for more money. So say that individually they'd sell for $10 each. I'd make the listing on eBay $25. Then if someone bought it, I would go to my Amazon listings and fulfill the order from my Amazon FBA stuff. So it's still stored at Amazon, and then I ship them directly from there. All I have to do is put in the address, say 1 spoon, 1 mug, ship it, and it goes. Because the shipping's $6 or something from Amazon. So for the for the extra $1 that I might lose in the shipping, Amazon's not hitting me for the percentage. I only have to pay the eBay fees at that point, eBay and PayPal fees. Did I lose everybody on that?
I gotcha.
Okay. Say something in the chat. Do you understand fulfillment? If you sell on Amazon and let's say you have, a bunch of those mugs on Amazon, you could list them on eBay as well, but list them a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. Then if they sell on eBay, you go into your Amazon Seller Central, go to the mug. On the right-hand side where you would edit or whatever, you can say create fulfillment order, type in the address for the person, and then say 1 mug, and it sends it. Just say how fast you want it to go, and send, done, and it's gone in a day.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're not, and of course, if you're using Joe Lister, it should do it automatically. Mm-hmm. For those of you using Joe Lister, for anybody who really needs to dig into that and figure out exactly how to do it, if you go to YouTube and you look up these keywords, Amazon multi-channel fulfillment. Amazon
does charge you fees for they still charge you the pick and pack fee and whatever the storage fee, some of it, but they don't hit you for the percentage because they didn't sell it. You sold it on another platform.
Yeah.
And they allow it. They make it easy. What were you saying, Chris?
I say they don't charge. I think it's the 15% sales fee or whatever it is now.
Yeah, their commission. Yeah, they don't charge their commission because they didn't sell it for you.
Exactly. BK, yes, there will be a replay. This is also all on Facebook Live on Shawn's page. You can go back if you don't want to wait for the replay to be up. Let's see here. Oh, before we get too much further into things, so one of the reasons to stay away from eBay is because the reports, PayPal reports are a nightmare. Yes, I know. Okay.
I'm sorry. The shipping time on eBay, I still say like a day or so because I don't say that I'll ship like there's that fast and free or something. I don't do that because it wouldn't make it in time. But as soon as it sells, I immediately send it in Amazon. I mean, if they do it at 2 a.m, I'll do it the next morning. But it's still fast because you can still send it pretty fast from Amazon.
Yeah. Cher asked, what is the name of the store that you bought from at ASD that sells to the dollar store?
Oh, Basic, BASIK, and Baby King. It's Baby King and Pet King. I have to Google that because I can't remember what the high end. Baby King and Pet King, when I was talking about the Baby King products that they have a higher line, it's there. Like, it's their company. So, like, if you Google Baby King, Pet King, I don't have the business cards here, I don't think.
If you, I Googled it already. If you Google Baby King brands, the very first thing that comes up is Baby King wholesale baby product manufacturer.
Oh, yeah. And they were super nice. They were really nice.
Yeah. Before we get into some other things, maybe we can both talk about this. James asked, when you go do RA, what tools do you use? And do you have Keepa to use in store? I'm sorry if Shawn has a competing product, but I use the Scan Power suite of products. I use Scan Power on my phone, and they've integrated a hot list. So when you scan something, you hit the hot list button and you can go to Keepa, you can go to Camel, you can see if something's restricted. I think you could see the item on eBay if it's on there. There's so much information in Scan Power, it just makes my life so much easier. And now it also, I can't bring it up on the screen, but it also has a line where it'll say the lowest selling price is $18.68, and then there's a space to put your cost in, and it will tell you what the payout is. So if it's like $18.68 and I say, well, it's $4 here, it'll say, okay, your payout is going to be, $9, whatever, after all the fees and stuff, which is fabulous. Like, I need like idiot proof when I'm in a store, like going for speed. Absolutely. Yeah. I know Shawn is a big fan of Scan Power. I am also a Scan Power user. And I'll talk about a few things when it comes to sourcing in store. Scan Power is, I think, as close to perfect as it gets right now. They offer the restricted information. I'm actually going to show you guys if you can see it, maybe.
Yeah.
You can see there's a Keepa chart right there, and you can click on that to a larger Keepa chart, and you can see price.
Leave that up for a second. Yeah. See the red button in the center? If you tap that, they call that the hot list, and that'll have Camel, that'll have Keepa, that will have all kinds of stuff in there. And then just above that, it's the price, is what the lowest FBA price is, if there is one. You would then put in your cost as you're standing there in the store. So if it's a clearance item and it's $4.50, you're going to put in $4.50 or plus your tax if you need to. And then it will tell you what your net payout will actually be. And it's so much easier than saying, all right, well, it's like 15% and then they're going to take another dollar for, you don't want to do that. Now I do, if something looks really good, I then go into the Amazon app and I double check it, because I don't want to buy 46 of 48 of something, or even 10 sometimes, if there's a chance that it's actually restricted and Scan Power doesn't know. Like, I'm restricted in frozen. I can sell car parts and clothing, and I can't sell frozen merchandise. Like, Elsa and Anna frozen. I don't know why.
Did you get ungated in Star Wars Episode 7?
I did not, but I have so many other things I sell that I wasn't worried about it.
Okay.
But it's just so random. So, like, if it's something like that where, like, Scan Power doesn't know that I'm restricted in this, like, stupid little niche of frozen, so I double check in the Amazon app. Although I found, and I'm actually checking my book because it's in here, I found that the Amazon app sometimes, when you look at the fees and what the net is at the end, like this one's $440, I then compared it to Scam Power, and the numbers weren't the same, but then I compared it to my actual payout in my managed inventory, like in my Seller Central, and Scan Power was closer to it was to the penny of what I actually got.
Oh, wow.
So it was like not a huge deal. Oh, Lolly, it may be easy, but let me tell you, they've turned me down like you would not believe. And like I said, I'm like ungated at everything. I could sell fine jewelry, I could sell watches, I could sell anything. I could sell houses. No, I'm kidding. But I cannot get ungated and frozen. I'm like, seriously? Like, so I don't worry about it.
It's not easy. And I remember when, Frozen Gate happened. It was the same thing that happened with Star Wars. All these Chinese sellers jumped on, and then there were news articles everywhere that everybody was getting fake items and so on and so forth. Marcia, I do prefer Scan Power over Scoutify. The issues that I have with the whole Inventory Lab company aside, I think Scan Power is probably the closest to perfect that there is on the market. Greg, I do like it better than Profit Bandit. Profit Bandit will also tell you whether things are restricted, and they do go into your Amazon account, but it doesn't stay connected as much as it should. Scan Power does cost. They don't have a free tier anymore.
Didn't their app just change to free? The mobile scanning app?
It may have.
Double check, because that's what I just put up is for the whole suite of products, like the repricer and all that stuff, and Scan Power, like the web one, the one like on the web. But I think the app, you have to create an account to log in, because it needs to know if you're restricted in certain things. If you had the app, you may need to uninstall it and put it back on, because the girl who works for me had to do that because she just hadn't used it in a while. Now I don't use Scoutify, but I use Inventory Lab exclusively for listing, because I need their reporting. Like most of my inventory, like my accounting type stuff, is through Inventory Lab, because I get it. Like it's intuitive to me. Like it works the way I expect it to work. Like I print a label, I put it on the thing, it goes in the box. Like even though Scan Power has the listing, Inventory Lab worked better for me. And I totally, give mad props to Chris Green, but the Inventory Lab worked better for me for that. So I use the Scan Power for the other stuff. And then I use Inventory Lab for the listing part of it, and, actually shipping the stuff to Amazon.
Yeah.
Although if my printer goes offline one more time, I'm going to shoot somebody. Every time they update something, I have to shut the whole system, like everything shuts down for the day. Oh my, just go away. But it's so bad that I actually had to bookmark the fix page to remind me how to uninstall the Dymo printer and reinstall the whole thing. But now that I know that that's what I have to do, it's like 15 minutes done. Okay, we didn't shut down for the whole day now.
No, that's good. Mm-hmm. That is good. So I'm not 100% sure. So on back to the does Scan Power cost? Their website says that they don't have a free tier anymore. However, that was during Q4, and people were re-downloading the app to sell during Q4, and but they very well may have it now. Let's see. If your mobile app isn't working but your MWS is right, I would reach out to support. They're really good.
Mm-hmm. And they're fast responding.
Let's see.
Were you cursing like a sailor at your Dymo printer?
I have heard quite a few horror stories. Nobody shoot me. I'm one of those guys who does commingled, or what do they call it now? Manufacturer barcode. So I don't have these Dymo issues. How do you reconcile your inventory with Amazon?
I give it to my accountant. I print profit and loss from Inventory Lab. I I have a bookkeeper and an accountant because I have a girlfriend who's a bookkeeper. She puts everything into QuickBooks for me. I was a math major in college. I do my taxes and everyone else's taxes. I hate QuickBooks. I know people love it. There's some learning curve that I have not mastered with QuickBooks, so I pay her like pretty much like lunch, and she takes care of my QuickBooks for me, and then it all goes to the accountant once a month. It's like that is such a stress point for me that to hand it off to somebody else makes my life so much easier. Other people, like, photos are like their nightmare, but I would rather edit photos all day long than deal with the accounting end of it.
Yeah. And, while we're on that subject, that's actually, and I think a lot of people know this, but don't necessarily act on it, but you really should take those pinch points out of your business as much as you can, as much as you can afford to, because they will stagnate your growth, or you'll get so pissed off at, this one little piece of your business that you'll either spend too much time on it or you'll just, throw the whole thing away, and you don't want to do either one of those.
Right, which is what one member in the chat, I'm not going to single you out, but she dumped eBay. She's like, look, I can't reconcile all this stuff. It's annoying. I'm done. So how do you get PayPal? I don't know. I give her the reports and she magically puts it in. Yeah, but the PayPal, like, I dump it into I print the whole entire thing and just give it to her, and I make notes on it. So she enters it in. She's I don't know. She does some magic. Like, I know at some point I make her crazy because I go to thrift stores and I go to rummage sales and garage sales. So I'll take $200 of cash out. So she had to make an account that was like Abby's garage sale slush fund. So however she does that, she does her thing that way. But yeah, PayPal is weird, but I can give her line items and say, these were my PayPal fees. This was the income on PayPal. And then I bought tickets to a, NASCAR race. Don't include that,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the IRS really wants to know, is it income or is it an expense? Done.
Yeah.
Don't make yourself insanely crazy over it. Was it an office expense or an office, equipment? They don't really care that much.
Yeah, they honestly don't. So Marcia, I'll tell you what I did, because I use the exact same setup. It sounds like you use for your business. I could not figure out how to get PayPal to work with my QuickBooks, and I'm a touch on the anal side when it comes to my numbers. So I actually deleted my PayPal account from my QuickBooks, and I deposit my PayPal money directly into my bank account on I think Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then when it gets deposited into my bank account, I have that as income, and I don't worry about the fees because those are taken out before income. So, and that's worked for me, and my accountant said that will be fine. Let's see here.
All right, I'm going to just hit thrifting real quick because I don't want to run out of time.
Yeah.
So I do retail arbitrage. I don't do as much, but we kind of get the girl who works for me. Her name's Jessica. So Jessica and I, next Thursday, there's a rummage sale on a Thursday. How random. And she works on Thursday. So I'm like, okay, put on your sneakers, get dressed because we're going out. So we will hit the thrift store in the morning, and then we'll probably hit some stores and see if anybody has any Easter clearance, because one of the stores that I love has clearance. And we bought all this Snoopy stuff, and Peanuts is still ungated so far as I know. You never know. Amazon may wake up and go, I like Snoopy, let's gate him. So be careful. Again, this is why I keep my eBay store open, because if they suddenly gate something that I have 100 pieces in, instead of fighting to be able to sell it, I'll be like, okay, I'll just sell it on eBay. Okay, so when I go thrifting, the very first thing I look for is stuff that's sealed, no matter what it is. This happens to be Red Skelton, not a huge seller, but it's still sealed. It was $1. It's selling for $12 on eBay. And again, I don't have to do anything. I just have to throw it in a box and it's gone. This is, they look like they're tablecloths. but it's a director's chair replacement. It's the back and the seat for a director's chair. And I just thought that was really cute. And again, this one was only $2 and they sell for like $15, $20 on eBay. And then this little guy who I showed before, I could put on either one. He sells for like $15. The nice thing is I paid $2 for him, but he also comes in a loot crate. We get loot crates, and then we realized we had him. So not only did I get him from there, I had 2 others, but we got like one is this guy and one's another similar one. It's loot crates, like a nerd subscription box.
Awesome.
And we get 2 of them. I get one, my 15-year-old son gets one, and then we get a pet, the Loot Pets one. So we get really cool, like nerdy dog stuff. And anything we don't use goes right on eBay. It's like $15 a month, and I make easy $40 a month on stuff that we sell that we're not going to keep. Like I can't keep every like cool, I kept all the ones from Game of Thrones. I kept, like my favorites, but the rest will sell for a profit.
Just for anybody else who maybe you don't want a subscription to Loot Crate, there are times when you can actually buy like last month's leftover loot crates. I made a ton of money on Doc from Back to the Future. They had an exclusive. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. And if you ever decide you do want Loot Crate, which I get like no affiliate or anything, their t-shirts are awesome. They're like, never mind that they're nerdy, they're super soft. Like I love them. Some of the best ones I have are from that. And a lot of them are like inside jokes. Like it'll be from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's from that movie, but it doesn't just say that on it. It's like, be an enforcer today. And it's, like you have to have seen the movie to get it. Loot Crate, LOOTCRATE. And I joke around about being a nerd, but I really am. Like just totally. I have dragons on my car, like the stickers from Game of Thrones. I have a dinosaur from Jurassic Park and it says Clever Girl on it.
Oh, that's great.
Is that pretty random that you can make a profit from those subscriptions? I don't know. I just discovered that I could.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's every subscription. Like I wouldn't go get a subscription to everything, but Loot Crate is one of those ones that
they're just funky enough. Yeah.
Yeah. And
if you wait long enough, someone else will have made the listing, so you don't even have to make the listing. Like it's on Amazon and eBay. You could, the subscription is from Loot Crate itself, but the merchandise is available on both. So, all right, so we covered clearance, RA. OA is really Shawn's domain with tactical arbitrage and all that kind of stuff. But again, I got burned on OA, so I just stay away from it. And really the difference between the wholesale part of it and the OA is, hey, I found this great thing at Target. Let me go to Target's website and buy all of these and then sell them. Where the wholesaler is, hey, I found this great thing at Target. Let me contact Archer Farms, which is their brand, but just for example, let me contact Archer Farms and see if they'll sell directly to me. And then you're getting it for even cheaper than you would at Target because you're cutting them out and then you're selling it on Amazon on your own. If you're buying it from the dollar store, sometimes the singles, especially if it's like a family-run dollar store, those are definitely going to sell well for you. Like I found those crazy tablecloths. You want to find, like, if somebody goes into a store right now, they're going to find Beauty and the Beast stuff everywhere because the movie came out. It was very popular. This is a very big effect, especially anytime any cartoon movie comes out. But, a movie that came out 2 years ago that the kids still love, the birds from the Angry Birds movie, they may not be able to find Angry Birds as readily as they could a couple of years ago. So if you find party supplies or, a centerpiece or whatever at a dollar store, scan it because it's possible that they can't find them like they could in abundance when it first came out. And then the other thing at the dollar store is multi-packs. If you find that a particular, baby blanket sells well, maybe if you put a set of 3 together, they would be better. You could actually make a profit. No one's going to be like, oh, well, it's not worth $15. But if you put 3 together and you make them 25, maybe it is worth that.
Yeah, absolutely. One question that someone asked is, how much do you pay attention to sales rank while you're sourcing?
I'm better about looking at it. I used to look at I used to look at it as like a more general number, but then, oh, I forgot his name, puts out a list of like what 10% is in each category. So I didn't have to do the math. What's that?
Is that Steven Smotherman?
Yes, Steven Smotherman. Love his stuff. I wish I could write as quickly as he does because he is such a wealth of information. But he puts out a list that says, okay, in the beauty category, this is what the top 10% is, like 7,000 or whatever it is. So I can say, oh, okay, so if I just have it in my brain, anything under 7,000 is a good seller. I do that. And then I look at Jungle Scout if I'm doing it at home. Jungle Scout seems to be very forgiving in its rank. Like it'll say, oh yeah, it sells 40 a month. Okay, that's nice because that's not the numbers I'm getting.
Not at all.
But it still tells me what the fastest sellers are. So say I'm looking at a whole page of beauty supplies from a particular place on Amazon, I can click Jungle Scout, and the ones that are the best sellers are going to be the best sellers anyway, whether they're selling 40 a month or only 10 a month. Those are still the best sellers. So those are the ones I would look at and maybe put it into fulfill the Amazon the price thing. Lost my mind. The thing that tells you what the actual cost is.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. I think that's all the questions.
Oh, the revenue calculator.
Oh, the revenue calculator.
Yeah.
That's a great tool to have. And now you also do some coaching, correct?
I do.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
No, I'm just kidding. We were going to get along so well, I had to say something. I have 2 Facebook groups. Dollar Store Arbitrage is open to everybody, and then Dollar Store Reseller is a smaller group that I put. I have to get back into the BOLOs. I apologize to everybody who's in the group, but I would regularly put in BOLOs that are either from the dollar store or a discounted, like a discount store, something that's only a couple bucks, and say, okay, this is only $3 at Target. You need to see if your local Target has it because they're selling for 25 bucks or whatever. The nice thing about Reseller is you can message me at any time and say, okay, I'm going to Dollar Tree today. This is my plan. What do you think? And I could say, okay, well, if you're going to look at those things, also check, you're looking at kitchen items anyway, skip the Betty Crocker stuff, but look at, see if your Dollar Tree has these cookbooks or has, whatever, like things that I've found to be successful. A BOLO is be on the lookout. Yeah, she said. It's just a shorthand term, like, hey, be on the lookout for this, cool little coffee thing. And then Reseller, also Dollar Store Reseller, also has like modules that are like the steps to get to $100 a day, which is what my first book was how to shop at a dollar store and make $100 a day on those products. And what I did was I said, okay, so start in the dollar store and then find a wholesaler that sells those products like I did at ASD, and then buy directly from the wholesaler. So instead of paying $1 a piece, you're paying like 80 cents or 70 cents a piece, and then you're making even more money per item. So I would take like 4 dish towels and put them together and sell them in a set, and they were doing well. So then I bought them, put the set together, bought them in like a gross, put them together, and then sent them in that way. So I wasn't like searching 8 different dollar stores trying to find the 4 pink, with the daisies cloths to put together. Okay, you can buy the book, but we have 2 copies, signed copies to give away today.
Oh, nice.
Do you have the link? Do you have the link for the book?
I don't have the link for the book yet.
No, I'm teasing. I have, whoops. That would not be it. It's on Amazon. It is, I don't have the link either.
Okay, I'll have it in a second. Here we go. I got it.
Okay. Oh, Chris, yours should like seriously appear tomorrow. Chris won it on Scanner Monkey.
All right, there we go.
Now, so the fun thing is, I am giving 2 away, signed like to you, not like just hey Abby Hunt. It says like, you know, it'll say like dear Donna, you know. But I'm working on a second one that is really like beyond the dollar store, where it says like this one says to, you know, find a wholesaler that then sells those products. Like I said, I went to linens places when I was at the trade show. But is it going to cut us off at 9?
No, it won't.
It'll keep going. Okay. Only because I just lost all my screen, so I was like, oh no.
Oh, no.
Is this like the countdown? I have a new book. My birthday's in August and nothing else really happens in August. So I try to release my books then. This is the only like online book I have. The other one's about death. So you don't have to buy that book, but I do have another book. We were talking at the beginning of the show. My husband passed away when my son was 3. And then 4 years ago, my sister passed away. And this February, my husband's father passed away. And when my sister passed away, her girls were little and my sister's friends were all like, every different religion you could possibly imagine. And because I had been through it, because my son was little, they're like, what do we say? So I wrote this little book, which I don't think I have, called Answering Children's Questions About Death. I wrote that and it's like just totally not religious. It's just like very,
interesting,
you know, bare bones. Anyway, so I try to release a book like around my birthday. So my new dollar store book I'm hoping to have out for August. And it's going to be beyond the dollar store, like really taking the lessons and the mistakes that you learned from the dollar store and then move on to other retail stores and bigger stores and wholesale and all this type of thing.
Oh, that's great.
And it's easier to read the book because I don't talk as fast in the book.
So how do you want to give away the 2 copies you have tonight?
Thank you, Tara. We can ask a couple questions.
Okay.
But Donna already knows the answer, and she already has a book coming.
All right.
And
Donna,
I think she just got it coming anyway. And I think the other one who was on early already left because she knows the answer because we were saying that was going to be the question. Okay, so the first question is, if you saw the horse head come in before, my son, see, Terry was paying attention. How old is my son was going to be the question. That's very funny.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's do a different question and I will buy Terry a book out of my own pocket.
You don't have to do that. I have one extra, I think. I have 2 extra. Okay, we could do 4. So we'll give Terry one, and who was the other one who did that? Because they did it the exact same time. Terry and Vicky.
Okay. Do you want them to PM you on Facebook?
Yeah. And I think I killed I had it as I could have pasted it right in. And then I killed it. And now we need another question now. Here I am.
All right. So Terry and Vicky, make sure to PM Abby. Is your name on Facebook Abby or Abigail?
No, it's Abigail, but it's spelled funny, so I'm going to put it in here.
Okay.
And anyone who's on the Zoom today, go ahead and friend me on Facebook too, although you'll get a lot of dog pictures and stuff. But if you friend me, it's easier to message me, to hit me through Messenger. But if you want a free UPC, like if you want to make your own bundle or make your own listing and you've just not wanted to deal with the whole UPC issue, you could just send me a private message, not a message on Facebook, but through Messenger, a private message that just says free UPC. I'll just send you one. And that is just so you can be like, okay, I'm going to try to make one listing. And if you go on YouTube and just put in Abby Hunt, I won't make it spell Abigail, but if you put in YouTube Abby Hunt, I have at least one video, I think 2, on how to create a listing. There's one that is creating variations, but it also just has the regular, how to make a listing too. They are GS1 codes. And for one, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's great.
So everybody can get the free UPC. You don't have to answer a question for that.
Nice. All right. What is the, let's see, we've got a couple more.
All right, so for the book, yep. What's the question?
Oh, you want me to come up with it?
Well, you were willing to pay for one. I'm looking to see if I have any.
All right, let me.
Oh, how many billion did I say that Dollar Tree made in what was their net sales?
Oh, nice.
8. It was 8 billion. Wow, that was fast.
That
Lisa. Lisa got that one.
Yeah, great job, Lisa.
And we have one more book.
All right. Man, I'm actually good at these, and then I get put on the spot. Okay. What toy am I ungated to sell that Abby is not?
Julia.
No, they're still, there we
Not
go.
Frozen?
James got it with Star Wars.
Oh, that, I don't know about that. Because I thought it was Frozen also.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, James, I'll buy you one out of my pocket. We'll go.
Oh, well, Julia got Frozen.
Let's see here.
Wait, that's 4.
Oh, was that 4? All right.
Isn't it 4?
I was gonna buy James one out of my pocket. So James, you message me, and I'll send you one. And let's do one more.
They won't be signed. It's not the same.
I know.
Oh, by the way, on Amazon, they're available paperback and Kindle.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know when I have the free Kindles. I don't think I can do them free again. Like, I think I ran out of my days. But the new book, I'll definitely. I usually do a promo. Like, I go on all the groups and I say hi to everybody, and then I have the book available for free for 24 hours or 48 hours or something.
Yeah. What do we get? I think we get 3 days a month. We can do that or something. I know.
Yeah, it's something weird. Yeah. And anybody who, total subject change. Anybody who wants to write a book, Create Space is a wonderful way to do it. And if you say, I can't write a book, but I really want to, message me and I will say, yes, you can, because I've written 2 and they've been, they've been pretty successful. I was gonna say I wrote 3, but the other one wasn't a book. And I tell you, I can't type for squat, but my mother's an editor, which is really helpful.
I would imagine. How long did it take you to hit bestseller status?
This one didn't. The Death book did.
Did it really?
But this one didn't hit it because there were too many in this niche at the time, like online sales, when I wrote this one. And I didn't know all the tricks to make it pop. And then it hits bestseller because you're the only one with that kind of a book. And then, it continues to sell because it was bestseller, and then it peters off from there. But the Death book did because there was nothing like that. And I had a funny thing because a company in Croatia, of all places, they're like, can we have this translated into Croatian? We're going to pay you this amount of money. And I was like, I guess. I've never dealt with that before. She's like, yeah, it's because they have a foundation that deals with kids who have lost, parents and stuff. And it was really cool. The funny thing was I had visited Croatia the year before. How random is that? But we were on a Mediterranean cruise, and that was one of the places. So the book is actually really worldwide, which is fun.
That's fascinating. I'm actually, my 3-year-old, I'm going to take him to his first funeral here in the next couple of days. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually, I'll actually probably buy that book because that'll be an interesting read.
Yeah, and it's easy to do on Kindle because there's no pictures or anything. It's really for the parent, for reading, to the kid. And it's just it answers questions why do we go to a cemetery, that kind of thing. And just very frank, without being rude. It's funny because anybody who knows me, I'm like, don't read the beginning and don't read the end, just read the middle and then read the other 2, because the other 2 are the more personal end. So they know me and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all that happened.
Wow.
So, but there's a little bit of humor in it and stuff. So
that's great.
In the end parts, not in the middle. The middle is just straight, So, but so I think in all of our conversing, we covered a lot of places to buy and ways to save money when you're buying.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna post a link one more time, guys. If you want to become a member of one of or of Abby's coaching, which I'm actually probably going to do, I would like to expand into I know it sounds silly, but I do want to get into some dollar store sourcing, especially if I can turn that into wholesale and things like that. So I'm going to post a link. If anybody wants to join her her coaching program, just click on the link. I'll have to say that the price to me is absolutely a steal. I'll have to pull it up here. How much is it per month for the coaching?
I think it's $30 a month, and it's like unlimited. It's the group, and then it's there's files in there. Like everybody who joins, I say, hey, make sure you look at the files section of the group, because there's a bunch of things in there, like the different modules. And generally what happens as I release books, or I get really good deals from authors who are friends of mine, that hits my reseller group, and it never really goes into the arbitrage group. Like I try to, some things like, when I'm going to be on a Zoom or something, I put that in both groups, or I'll say, hey, make sure you're checking this in both groups. But the reseller is really, there's a little more hand holding in that part of it, where if someone says, okay, I am going to make a bundle today, I'll be like, all right, let's get on a Zoom. And we would do something like Chris and I are doing here, where it's just the two of us. There's nobody else in it. No one else can get on it. It's like a private thing. And that way I can share my screen, and I'll be like, no, you need to go to the top here and click the thing on the right. And that, so I have the patience and the time to go step by step with you. If you're like, I know I can do this, trust me, I will get you through like making your own listing, or if you need to reprice, or you need to know how to sell on eBay and then fulfill it from Amazon. Like, I'm very happy to walk you through those, and being in this group gives you that like one-on-one thing, where I'm happy to do it.
That's great. Yeah. So guys, for less than a gas station cup of coffee a day, you can have the lovely Abby walk you through things. And do you do most of your messaging by Facebook? Do you have Voxer?
I do Zoom mostly, because I know my computer can handle it. Like this computer's a little bit of a dinosaur, but this just seems to flow really well. I know how to share the screen quickly, and I can pop back and forth, and I can say, okay, now click the button to share your screen so I can see what you're doing, because I'm not following you, or I use this, and I'll use room.co on occasion, especially if I'm going to have a couple people. It's easier to maneuver around that.
That's great. Okay, so last call, guys. You want to join? The link is down there. I know that she's probably got a ton more that she could teach you that she couldn't share in this hour tonight. But it's now a little after 9 o'clock on the East Coast, so we're going to call it for the evening. Abby, I really appreciate you being here. It was nice to chat with you.
Thank you, Chris.
I'll tell you what, James has one last question we'll take. How many days a week do you do retail arbitrage?
Like once every 2 weeks, just because I'm doing so many other things. And it's like, I really have to kind of be in the mood, or find, like, there's a favorite gift store I have here, and they'll send out like a little blast, like they have a coupon every month or so, and I'll go in, because their coupon's great, because they're like a hole in the wall kind of a gift store, and they'll have like Imaginext toys from like 5 years ago still on the shelf, because it doesn't move like it does in a Toys R Us, and they've got all kinds of toys. And then they have a clearance wall that like all their old Playmobil toys and all their old Lego and all this stuff goes there. So sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, they have a sale. So that type of thing I'll go to. I won't like just go to like Target and check out their clearance, or Walmart or something. But I do thrift a lot. Like I still, I don't love to shop, but I love that like treasure hunting aspect of that type of thing. So like, that's absolutely my favorite thing.
That's awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for being here, Abby. I appreciate you. It was nice to meet you. It was nice.
Thank you, Chris. You too.
And if anybody has any questions, message either of us. I would imagine you're on Facebook as much as I am. So
absolutely. Yep.
You guys have a great evening, and thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.